Hello everybody, it's Julia here from the Highly Sensitive Tarot Readings, and I'm back today to do another collective reading. So this is not just for Virgo, this is for the collective. So if there's something that you see here in this video, in the thumbnail or in the title or somewhere in this video that resonates, that draws you to it, perhaps there might be a message here for you. So as per usual, take what does resonate and leave the rest. And I hope, if nothing else, the video might be interesting, but it would be lovely if it was helpful for you. So if you're not aware, this is my new channel. I've only had this channel for about a month, and I'm going to read for Virgo as much as I can on this channel. Sorry, I'm just trying to even up the camera. But I will also do collective readings like this. I do have another channel called Highly Sensitive Tarot, which I've had for about 4.5 years. You can find the link for that in my About Me page. And I'm going to keep that channel primarily for deck collecting and videos relating to that. So deck studies, walkthroughs, new decks, video responses, that kind of thing. So today, as I said, this is a collective reading, and this is called Calling Myself Out, and I found this spread on Pinterest, and it's by Christine Starr, who I will credit in the description box, and these are the prompts. I'm not liking too much prompt number 1, what have I been doing wrong, because I don't like, that we think of ourselves as right or wrong, but sometimes in life we can almost even be under some kind of illusion or delusion about ourselves and our life, that we're doing everything okay when we're really not. So that's why this is calling myself out. So this is, what have I been doing wrong? How am I holding myself back? In what area of my life do I need to improve? And how can I work to improve this in 2026? So that's what we're going to be doing. This is the Soul Mirror Oracle. This is the Game of Thrones Tarot. So without further ado, we shall get into the reading. So I've already pulled an oracle card here, actually, and I'm pretty sure that we had this come up a couple of weeks ago for Virgo, actually. This is Judgment and Critical / Complementary, which, if you're a Virgo, will resonate quite strongly. We are known to be quite a critical star sign. But I think that it's common to lots of us, isn't it? And there's a different thing here between judgment and criticism, I think, isn't there? Because judgment is something in life that it's actually a really important skill for us to learn, isn't it? We have to use our judgment to navigate our way through life. We have to use our judgment in whether we want to get to know certain people, if we want to get involved in certain situations. Our judgment of people and life is really, really important. Whereas being critical / complementary is something quite different, isn't it? Because I think that from my own experience and of life, is how you judge other people and your criticisms of other people is often a mirror of your judgment of yourself. If you judge yourself quite harshly, you're likely to judge other people quite harshly. If you're quite negative and down on yourself, it's likely that you'll see these things in other people as well. So how we view ourselves and fine-tuning that judgment about ourselves, being self-aware, is really important, I think, not only for ourselves but for how we navigate through life and our relationships with other people. And you know, to be critical of other people on a regular basis is something to be very mindful of. It's not a very nice trait. You know, we all need a bit of constructive criticism now and again, whether from ourselves or from other people, but we don't want to be put down or made to feel small or stupid or not good enough, you know. And we also don't want to judge ourselves in that way. So I think it's really important to develop a compassionate outlook on life and towards people and life. So that's what we've got as our oracle card. And at the bottom of the deck we had celebration. We've got mournful / joyous. So we'll see if that resonates in any way throughout this reading also. Life is not going to be full of celebration or joyful, is it, if we're constantly putting ourselves or others down? So there is that. So let's pull the tarot cards and see what we get. So what has my viewer been doing wrong recently in life? Just like I said, even just saying that word, what have they been doing wrong, is making me feel like I'm judging and being critical. So I don't quite like the terminology of what have they been doing wrong, but sometimes we do, don't we? Sometimes we take a wrong path, sometimes we get into wrong thinking, wrong feeling. We can sort of delude ourselves that we're doing everything right when we're really not. We can blame other people for things. You know, we can project our own shit out onto other people. You know, there are lots of ways, aren't there, that we can be wrong, I guess. So what has my viewer been doing wrong recently? Please. Whoops. We have the Six of Wands, which is the Six of Spears, and the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Swords. Okay, we can see those, can't we? How is my viewer holding themselves back currently? We have Temperance. We have the Ten of Spears. Okay. In what area of my viewer's life do they need to improve? In what area of my viewer's life do they need to improve? We have the Three of Coins and the Nine of Coins. Very nice. And how can my viewer work to improve this in 2026? We have the Ten of Swords. And we have the Chariot. Interesting. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Empress. So we'll put that over here. Let's see if we can get them all in a little bit better. And you can see the Empress a little bit more. There we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? So for what have I been doing wrong? What has my viewer been doing wrong? We've got the Six of Spears and the Knight of Swords. So the Six of Spears is the Six of Wands, and wands are cards of energy and action and ambition, aren't they? They're about moving forward and taking on challenges. And here we've got Daenerys conquering a city. So there's victory here, triumph, sort of self-respect, you know, this is good news, isn't it? And then we've got that here with the Knight of Swords, which is kind of swift action, being brave, skillful, rushing in. I can't remember this character's name actually, but this is to do with thoughts, isn't it, and communication and the mind. So this can be strong words, hasty words, arguing, quarrels, being very assertive. So if this question is what have I been doing wrong? Well, perhaps you've been trying to succeed at something, trying to win something, trying to succeed at something, trying to get the better of something, but maybe doing it in a way that is kind of not that tactful, or in a kind of argumentative way rather than in a positive sort of in a helpful way. What am I trying to say here? This is like a situation where instead of taking your time to respond to something, you've just reacted to it. This is almost like overkill. It's like almost over the top in a situation, overreacting to something. There's almost like a win at all costs here with these cards, isn't it? So I don't know how that's resonating for you. It certainly ties into some kind of judgment or being critical here of another person. The Knight of Swords is a card, an energy of being critical, you know. The Knight of Swords doesn't hold back. They don't mince their words. And because this is now associated with some kind of victory or wanting to win something, to have some kind of triumph or acknowledgement or gain some kind of respect somehow, it all feels a little bit heated, is what I'm getting here. It feels like you need to slow down. It feels like it's getting too heated, that they may be trying to win at all costs here, that there maybe have been some hasty words said. And it's like this is not a win-win situation, is it? This is somebody wanting to win, not for everybody to benefit. Do you know what I mean? This is about a winner and a loser, not a win-win situation. So I don't know how that's resonating. So how am I holding myself back? Well, we've got Temperance here, which is generally a very beautiful card. It's one of peace and tranquility and moderation. And this one, is this Samwell? I'm trying to remember his name from Game of Thrones, but he's sitting studying, isn't he? The White Walkers. He's trying to find out how to defeat them. Temperance is a card of kind of balance and harmony, isn't it? It's a very tolerant energy, actually. And then we've got the Ten of Spears, which is the Ten of Wands again. So that energy and action and challenges and moving forward. But here in the Ten of Spears, we've kind of we've kind of reached the end of that. We've carried enough, we've done enough. It's becoming a burden, really. There's a lot of responsibility in this card, a lot of hard work, a lot of struggle. And I would say so here for this Temperance card as well, because if, you know, he's poring over all of these books, he's burning the candle at night, you know, he's probably not sleeping. He's working too hard. So if the question is, how am I holding myself back, is that maybe you need to cut yourself some slack. Maybe you've been trying too hard to manifest something or make something happen or win a situation. Normally, I think that this is about you've been trying too hard, really, and that is holding yourself back. You know, you're not cutting yourself slack, you're not giving yourself time out, you're not looking after yourself. These are all things that are coming to mind when I'm looking at these images here, really, is of somebody that's struggling, that is carrying a lot of responsibility, that is pushing themselves to succeed, to prove themselves, when really it's not really necessary. I feel at this time, just looking at this here, a different approach. So in what area of your life do you need to improve? And we've got the 3 of coins here, which is, you know, pentacles are all about your physical reality, the things that are tangible, everyday concerns in life. So money, work, your health, your home, it's all of those kind of things. And the 3 of Pentacles is a card of kind of teamwork and cooperation and planning. You know, when we look at this card here, these 3 people here have worked, or there's more than 3 people there in this card, actually there's quite a few of them, but these people have worked together. They've put a lot of planning, a lot of thought into this. They've collaborated, they've shared ideas. No one's ego has got in the way of anyone else's. Otherwise, they wouldn't have achieved this, would they? This has taken planning and work, collaborative work. And then we've got the 9 of coins, which is beautiful. We've got Daenerys here in the garden with all her pentacles. And this is a card of independence and, you know, having some status in life, being quite secure financially, enjoying life, enjoying your home. And we've got, in what area of life do you need to improve? So I would say that in order for things to feel better in life is to share the burden, ask for other people's advice, listen, give your advice to other people, share ideas, share thought, and have some downtime. You know, I think that's what Daenerys is doing in this garden. That's one of the scenes from Game of Thrones where she's actually having, you know, enjoying life a little bit. You know, she's not out trying to conquer the world. You know, she's just enjoying life a little bit more. She's taking some time out and enjoying what she's worked hard for. So I would say if you needed an area of life to improve for you, it would be to share the burden, not feel like you have to take everything on your own shoulders, not feel so much like you've got so much to prove that you can't stop, that you can't invest in yourself, that you can't look after yourself, and that you can't enjoy what you have. And question number 4 is, how can I work to improve this in 2026? And we've got the 10 of Swords here. This is when Jon Snow was stabbed in the back and killed before he was kind of resurrected again, isn't it? So again, 10s are the culmination of a suit, so they are the ending of a cycle. And this is swords, so this is like, to me, this is saying that a way of thinking, a way of approaching a situation, the way that you perceive a situation needs to come to an end. How you're viewing things, how you perceive things, how you're dealing with things is not serving you anymore. The Ten of Swords is, there's some kind of wounding often, or a loss, or yeah, I would say that how you've been approaching life, how you've been thinking about life, your perceptions, your judgments of life, they're not serving you anymore. They're actually hurting you at this point. So I think that this card is very much saying that it's important to change your approach, you know, to really examine and look at your beliefs and how they affect your thoughts and your feelings. And then we've got the Chariot here also, and the Chariot is a card of kind of victory and triumph. It's a card of movement, determination, somebody who likes to be in control. I mean, here we've got this enormous dragon, haven't we, that Daenerys rides on, and even little Daenerys is able to manage this dragon. You know, she has control over this dragon and the direction that it takes her. It's a card of water and Cancer, so, you know, it's quite an emotional card, actually. Quite bizarrely, really. But, yeah. And then we've got the bottom of the deck, we've got the Empress, haven't we? So, yeah, if this question is, how can I work to improve these things? How can I work to improve what we see here in 2026? It would be, like I said, to let go of some outdated thoughts and beliefs, to really examine and get aware of why you're reacting, why you're dealing with things the way that you are, why you might have problems letting other people in, why you've been carrying such a burden for so long, why it's been difficult to just sit back and enjoy the fruits of your labour, why you're judging yourself so harshly. And yeah, to allow things to kind of develop through those challenges, because I think with this, the Chariot, it's a number 7, isn't it? And I always think that throughout all the challenges and responsibilities of a number 7, there's a lot of personal development to be had. So I would say that how you can work to improve this in 2026 is through personal development, quite simply. You know, to really examine your thoughts and feelings, your motives, your motivations, your inner child, you know, the way that you were brought up and how that's affecting you. Something, just looking at all of these cards all together, is the word that's coming to me is kind of perfectionism, of expecting too much of yourself. And like I said, how we judge ourselves is often how we judge other people. So if we're expecting perfection from ourselves, we need to be very mindful we're not expecting that from other people also, or from other situations, because there's a great deal of disappointment to be had in that path. And then, like I said, at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Empress, and I think sometimes the Empress is a card or the bottom of the deck is a card that just reflects the entire energy, you know, or something you might not be aware of really. And, you know, with the Empress, we've got a matriarch, sort of caring, compassion, enjoying the beauty of the world, being able to create, standing strong in your own energy, but in a gentle, kind of compassionate way. Yeah. And I think that's good advice, isn't it, for this reading? It's good advice. So, so yeah. Be kinder to yourself. Learn to collaborate, learn to share. Personal development. I would say that 2026 is a year of personal development. Looking at how you approach life, how you approach relationships, maybe your job, your career, anything that you want to achieve really here is to examine how you go about it and how you can be kinder on yourself. Yeah. So there we go. I don't know how that resonated for you, and I hope that you haven't felt that I've been judgy of you. I've sat here feeling a little bit like this is a little bit of a telling off, isn't it, about being kind and compassionate, but I don't mean that at all. Don't mean that at all. And the title of the spread is Calling Myself Out. So that's what this is. And like I said, we can, all of us, kind of get caught up in certain things and just not see how we're behaving and not see the effect that that's having on us and other people around us. And we can get stuck in patterns of thinking that just, they might have served us one day. They might have been helpful when we were young. They're kind of survivalist strategies, but these things don't always serve us in the long term. So I think that this is just calling for some self-awareness, some reflection, to look at how you do things and how you might be able to do them better or differently. So I really hope that that was helpful. Thanks so much for spending some time with me. I'm sending you all my love. Please give me some feedback and I'll see you all again soon.